Hey, what is up guys, and welcome for a new video for Godfall. Today we're going to be looking at a build that will have you beat the Exalted Tower Trials super easily. The Exalted Towers is one of the hardest in-game contents in the game. It has the toughest challenges of having you face multiple bosses at once, as well as an abundance of enemies just hammering you down in the face. So I have made this build that will even make the Exalted Tower Trials look super easy. I have experimented with a lot of things and I have finished with this build that is the most consistent to floor 10 every time. If you guys enjoyed the video, then a like would be super appreciated. If you would like to see more of my builds and guides, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. With that, let's get right into the build. As you can see, we are using AEGISHORN for this build. There are a lot of reasons why we use him rather than any other Valor plate. His passives will help, as well as his Archon Fury is also very useful, especially in the Exalted Towers. His passive of getting 5% damage reduction is very useful. It may not seem like a big deal, but believe me, it sure is. Now let's get into the weapons and gear. For our main weapons, we'll be using the Last Victory. This will give us a very good amount of healing, as well as being able to inflict ailments with our weapon techniques. Great for slowing down all the smaller enemies since we'll be inflicting chill. Then we have our longsword handy for our secondary weapon. Any longsword will do, but I have kept it to the Sincerity, which gives us Archon Fury charge when I kill ailment inflicted enemies. This comes as an epic weapon which I upgraded to a legendary. Your secondary weapon won't really matter as the main damage dealer will be your dual blades. The stats you want to get on your weapons is crit chance, and once you get a masterwork trait, make sure you get more crit chance as well. For the amulet, we use the Amulet of the Betrayer. This is just for a safety precaution, in case you happen to get trapped in some sort of stun lock from the enemies or just get overwhelmed. This amulet will give you the one chance to get back into the fight. The cooldown is long, but it will refresh if you do happen to die and respawn. For the amulet as well, make sure to get crit chance as it is super important. Then we get into the most important item for this build, that is the Beetle Talisman. This is now probably the most powerful item in the game, even ahead of the Lion's Talisman. This is a cursed item which you can obtain only from the Lightbringer mode. So every time you consume an ailment, you will deal fire damage that is equal to 25% of the original damage that is dealt. This is how we are able to clear entire floors with ease. The shockwaves easily deal with the smaller enemies, and its damage alone is enough to kill even bosses by one-shotting them. It's because during your dual blades weapon technique, every attack can inflict ailments. So when the fire shockwave gets released, it will inflict the enemies with fire. The fire damage is what's the really crazy part. Even the dot damage that comes from this charm is ridiculous, reaching up to 1 million, which is just insane. For your charm as well, make sure to get more crit chance. For the rings, we are using the Heavenly Reversal. This is needed as it will allow your timing attacks to consume elements. Then for the second ring, we use the Mark of the Red Armorer. This will increase our overhealth grind greatly as we have to have overhealth all the time, otherwise you will just get one shot and killed. For the Lifestone, we keep it to the Archon's tier, and for the banner, we have set it to the Plague Pennant for more element power. Now let's look at the augments. Firstly, for the Might augments, we have Iron Heart. This will give us more crit chance in exchange for Rampage charge speed, which is no problem as Rampage is not the important part for this build. Then we have Solar Bliss. This will give us a big amount of ignite power but lower its duration by 50%. Then we have Kindled Core. This will increase our ignite power even further with our fire damage stats and fire resistance. Twilight Bloom for the insane amount of weapon tank damage. Make sure to place it in this position and make sure it stays active for this augment to work. For the last Might augment, we are using Paradise to get our weapon tank charge speed whenever we land a critical hit. This effect will stack with each critical hit that you land. For the Vitality augments, firstly we have Void Shell. This is why we need our crit chance high so we can keep getting our overhealth to tank the enemy's damage. Then we use Rift for bonus damage per element on the enemies. For the last one, we have Force Barrier. Now if you have the Exalted Valor Plate passive, which is almost the same as this augment, then don't get this. Swap it out for any other Vitality augment. My suggestion would be the Mirror augment to apply the Mark of Weakness whenever you hit a weak point. For the one and only Spirit augment, we use the Enchanted tier to increase our chill duration. Make sure on all your augments except your Vitality augments, you have either ailment power or ailment duration. The higher you get your ailment stats, the stronger your consumed damage will be. On your Vitality augments, make sure to get overhealth gained, so you can build up your overhealth in just 1 to 2 hits. Now for the shards. There's only one real shard you will need for this build, and that is the Way of the Shell. This shard is just ridiculous. It straight up gives you a massive boost to weapon technique damage. 375% bonus weapon technique damage if your overhealth is over a certain number. It can go higher once your Exalted status is on your Valor plate. He already has 5 Might augments, and then on top of that, gaining another 400% weapon technique damage is just insane. Get this shard first, and whatever second shard you would like, you can use it. Here's a look at the skill tree. It's pretty standard, getting a crit chance and crit damage. All the main might, vitality and spirit stats. Make sure to get your timing attacks, otherwise you won't be able to consume elements. Here's a look at the Ascension powers and the stat sheet. That is it for the build, guys. It's super strong and can easily get you to floor 10 in the Exalted towers every time. The key to this build is to keep attacking and have the overhealth full at all times. All your attacks will mostly be crits, and you're sitting at around 70 to 75% crit chance. With the overhealth gain stat as well as over 200%, you should always be able to tank the enemy's attacks. Consume is just so strong in the game right now. Even with the recent element nerf, it still is able to clear entire floors without any hassle. It's still a better option than using the longsword is because of the large AoE attack. You can never get overwhelmed with this. I will have a full video coming sharing some of my tips and tricks on beating the Exalted towers, so keep an eye out for that when I do put it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have you guys finished the Exalted towers? I found it super fun to play the Exalted as we finally have something that's really challenging the players. Let me know what you guys think of the build, and if you are planning to make any changes to it, I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all next time.